Order. Question number 11, Mojo Mathis.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My question is to the Minister of Broadcasting. Will she consider using regulation to increase New Zealand's levels of captioning for free-to-air television, given that all of Europe has regulations in place for captioning? If not, why not?
Honourable Amy Adams.
Not at this time, because I'm satisfied there has been a significant increase in New Zealand's level of free-to-air TV captioning over the past decade, including 100% of prime-time content on TV1 and TV2 now being captioned.
Supplementary question, Mojo Mathis.
Is she aware that New Zealand has ratified the Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities, which affirms the right to access information and popular culture, and if so, will she commit to captioning all free-to-air television?
Honourable Amy Adams.
Mr. Speaker, in answer to the first part of the question, yes.
Supplementary question, Mojo Mathis.
Does she consider it that without regulation, New Zealand will be able to achieve the high levels of captioning comparable with Australia, UK and the US, given that high rates of captioning have only been achieved in countries which have rules requiring broadcasters to provide captioning?
Honourable Amy Adams.
Mr. Speaker, well, what I do consider is that without regulation over the past decade, New Zealand has moved from around 70 hours a week only of captioning and absolutely no provision of audio description to now more than 250 hours a week of free-to-air captioning, plus 17 Sky channels carrying some captioning and around 20 hours of audio description per week. All of that has been achieved without regulation. The trend is for that to continue to increase, and we support that.
Supplementary question.
Supplementary question, Mojo Mathis.
Does she consider it acceptable that New Zealand On Air funded programmes can either be shown without captioning or released as DVDs without captioning? And will she consider bringing in a requirement for all New Zealand On Air funded programmes to be available in captioning and audio description, and if not, why not?
Honourable Amy Adams.
That is something I'm considering.
Question number 12, Stuart Smith.